Right, hello everyone. After a full start, we have got a draft going. This is on the Going Optimal Discord. It's the chat Gauntlet. I'm up first. 2 minutes per pick, so we've got plenty of time to talk about them. It's also a set I don't know very well. I've only drafted once in a couple of mock drafts, and I wasn't around playing when Amonkhet and Devastation was a thing. But I've been using Alex Nikolich's excellent guide on archetypes, which is on the Channel Fireball site, just to try and get a sense of it. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got Black Blue Rags to Riches, we've got a mini Wrath, followed by a control effect, which is nice. Watchers of the Dead, Exile to cut graveyard down. White Blue's Embalm archetype. This one likes deserts and pinging people when at desert. When at ETBs. I'd say Rags to Riches or Sand Strangler both look alright. And then in the rest of the pack, we've got some cycling payoffs that come later on, which makes Black-Blue more attractive. We've got some -1 counter things. But the cycling things look alright. Got some... And then Puncturing Blows a nice removal, but puts you in red-red. This puts you strongly in black-blue, I guess. But since I'm new to the set, this is nice in red-white exert, I guess, as well. But we'll start with the rare. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll see how we go. Might as well get stuff with the highest ceiling to begin. So this likes white, this likes black-red, recursion and pumping, black-green counter, artifact removal, binding mummies are nice in black-white zombies or red-white, green-white exert, because obviously they cause a lot of tempo trouble. What's got the highest ceiling? The monument if we're in white, but cutting white from the pack and taking a binding mum is probably not a terrible idea, as I might get hooked up in white on the way back. Plus, Rags being a pestilent haze and never casting riches is another consideration. So I think I like binding mummy here, although lethal sting stays in colour and is removal. But I like cutting white. This pack's got so much black in that something might well wheel. I kind of like the idea of cutting white here. And binding mummy is nice in black-white. It's early enough. So yeah, I will take the binding mummy. A bear for 2/2 that does other stuff is nice in any set, for sure. So we'll see how this goes. So I will be up first. Which is good, because it's already 5:30 on a Friday evening here, and I've got beer waiting for me this evening. Right, new perspectives. When ETBs draw 3, as long as you have several cards, and you can pay 0 rather than pay cycle cost. Fancy, but it costs 6, which is fairly heavy price. What else have we got? We've got a green thing that obviously can enter as a 2/3 if it puts counters on itself. 3, gain a life when a creature dies. And loot. The white's a bit weak here to take, I think. What choices do we have? No cycling payoff at the moment. I think it's a bit early for new perspectives and it's very expensive. So what's the card with the highest ceiling? Spellweaver Eternal might end up in blue, black, white. Mummy for the 2/2 might end up in counters as well. Let's take the Great Maw for no particular reason other than it keeps us open. When you cast a creature spell 2/2 and trample, that's nice in a green deck. Sacred Cat obviously comes back as a zombie, so has some zombie synergy. Dauntless Avon helps with exertion in white as well. So I'd say the Monument or the Avon, Vizier if we end up in black-blue cycling, which I'm not sure we would. Another black zombie here. Green being multicolour and big creatures makes the Monument more attractive, certainly. But Avon does a lot in Exert, whether red-white or green-white. So I kind of like the Avon here over the Monument, which may wheel if no one else is in green, which might be too early to say. And we're still cutting most of the white, which means medium might hook us up on the way back. So I'm going to take the Avon here, knowing that it'll do a lot of work in exertion. This is good for ramp. Well, not really good for ramp, apart from the exertion thing, I guess. But does work well with the Avon, I guess. What else have we got? We've got the cat again. I think I like Hope Tender here. There's always part of me that says we need to cut Slither Blades as we see them in case someone ends up with 6 of them, but I think this pod's smarter than that. I think I'll take Hope Tender here, 2/2 bear that allows you to untap lands. It only gains you an extra mana, but if we can combine it with Dauntless Avon, that's not shabby. If we're not in cycle discard, the rare's not worth a ton. So yeah, we'll take Hope Tender here. We'll start to think about green coming together, but it's a bit early. I'm just taking cards which I think have some room. Destroy a black creature or a black planeswalker. It's a bit too niche, unless we know Ryan's going to end up in black. So you've got a 2/4 zombie. A 3/2 flash cheat. That's a nice little combat trick. But a 2/4 zombie for 3 that gets the Binding Mummy going. The only risk is someone's picked up that green monument and gets a choice of cheap creatures to go around. But we'll take those who serve here over Pouncing Cheetah. Continue to try and cut white and see if media sends it back our way. We're not strong in any colour just yet, hedging our bets on green and white. I mean, that's not a shabby rare. It's interesting. What don't I know about a 2 mana artifact that causes your opponent to lose life if you have a lot of tapped creatures? I think I might take that over a second Dauntless Avon. Especially in a deck where I'm exerting. Let's take Throne of the Godfarer and see what comes off. Over the 1/3 cantrip and the 2/1 flyer untapper. The untapper doesn't synergize with the throne, but the throne keeps us open and is intriguing. And then we get another Aven anyway. So we'll take that. So at the moment our rare from pack 1 looks like it's getting sideboarded. I'm not entirely sure this archetype's a thing, but we'll see how it goes. 6 creatures so far, so start to need to get some combat tricks in. But I'm willing to stay open to cutting green and just having white as a primary for now. What does exiles forsake exile? Something that doesn't like flyers but cycles. I think I'm going to take the Exile Tiger Artifact or Enchantment and either put it in the deck intending to cycle it if there's no target, or it's just a lesser pick. Although, just getting another bear, 2/2 bear, is also not shabby. Yeah, I'm more likely to main deck a 2/2 creature than a possibly no target. Yeah, okay. So here, we'll take Claim to Fame in case we end up in white-black again and want to recur a creature. But again, it's unlikely we're going to run it. So at the moment our 2 and 3 drop slot looks quite big. We'll have to see how we can fill out the rest of it. And while we're relatively high on white, we can cut the green, move in on black, potentially. Looks like someone else has from the way the packs have moved around. You'd expect someone in the pod to be anyway, so that's a no-brainer. Yep, here there's not a lot going for us. We take the red in case we end up in red-white exert with some possible desert stuff. But 5 for a 4/4 is a bit high. Gate with some looting, over cycling, fine. When it enters for each kind of counter, put another one or remove it. No, that's not bad. We'll take Quarry Hauler over Sacred Cat here. It has a higher ceiling, I think. On target permanent. Oh. We'll still take it. Yep. Got to start making a call. We'll take this black one in case we end up in black-white. Although we don't have a lot of looting stuff going on. And that's definitely not on colour at the moment. Let's see what comes in pack 2. So a black-red likes Minotaurs, has Heckbent, and causes discard. So Hooded Brawler or Cartouche of Solidarity are both quite nice in green-white exert. Probably over Sixth Sense and Prowler. We'll take the Cartouche because it's cheaper. It's an aura, it's a Cartouche, and our 3-drop slot's already looking fairly busy. We're not looking at any of the red-black options, I don't think. To move in on it now, Would take some work. We'll take the cartouche and cut even more white, I think. I think we need to look for some combat tricks in white and green, though. Another new perspective, a ton of red. One for an 0-3, tap and sack to get land, or a combat trick. We'll take the combat trick here. Do we want to do anything that puts us in different colours? No, I don't think so. Let's take it for now. I think we're just building a Selesnya creature deck at the moment. We'll see if we can change that up. But we've got time to change plan, but we're not getting past any white just yet, but that might just be the nature of those first couple of packs. So a Desert Witch Exile stuff. This guy comes back, which I quite like. Don't have zombies, another cantripper. The 2-drop that makes mana is nice too. But I like a 2-3 that comes back as a 4-4 and gains life both times. So we'll have that. So, another Aven, a Disposal Mummy, a Manglehorn which destroys Archetype, and a Renewed Faith. Gaining life, I'm not particularly interested in here. Manglehorn, Disposal Mummy, a little Kismet effect on that isn't shabby. We've already got 2 Avens, so we don't really want a third. We're still ramming our 3-drop slot. Another Slitherblade. At least it's going the other way. The upshot of Disposal Mummy is it works also with Binding Mummy and removes something from the graveyard. Let's take Disposal Mummy over Manglehorn here, although I guess it's probably close. We also need some big cards, I think. We're starting to fill out this the 3-drop slot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've already got 10 creatures. So the question is, do we take Nest of Scarabs and move into black-white counters? Nest of Scarabs seems to have the higher end rather than Renewed Faith, Solitary Camel, or the Naga. So I might take Nest of Scarabs here. And if I see more black and green cards that talk about counters coming through, blimey, another, whoever's in black-red's going to be happy. So, Destined to Lead requires us to splash. Supply Caravan, 5 for a 3/5, which is a 4/6. Oketra is a combat trick, not a terrible combat trick. I guess we're either taking this for a splash, Destined to Lead, Supply Caravan for our higher end, and whoever's in black red will be chuffed to bits. 5 for a 3/5 just doesn't fill me with joy and excitement. We've still got time to build up some zombies. We've only got a couple at the moment, but Scourge comes back. I might take the combat trick. Not super happy about that pick, maybe, but we'll see. Another Great Maw. Over the cheetah. Yeah. And that makes Nest of Scarabs more attractive to splash. Do we want Great Maw over Quarry Hauler? Yeah, we do. 2 creatures. Yeah, sure. So now there's part of me that thinks if we see black opening up, we can move into black-green -1/-1 counters, or if we got a Evolving Wilds or Terramorphic Expanse, whatever it is in this set, is an option too. Although Fanbearer is just damn annoying, along with Binding Mummy, and is a zombie. So we'll continue to run down that road while we can, and let's see what wheels. But if we get a desert or wilds, especially with Hope Tender, Nest of Scarabs for a splash isn't terrible. It wheeled. So no one's in black-red. We'll be taking Sixth Sense here. So we'll be taking Forsake here and probably not running it in the main deck. We're up to 13 creatures, so still looking for a few more interesting combat tricks. We don't have a ton of exertion going on. I think we take the Anointed Priest in the 2-drop slot over the Naga. Our 3 is quite heavy. Manglehorn wheeled, so we'll take it happily. 15 creatures. I think we'll keep Throne of the Godfair, but we might cut Gate to the Afterlife potentially. We'll remove the Crash Through. Yeah, well, I got one anyway. Alright, Fetid Pools does at least offer black mana. Okay, so I can cast that twice with the cartouche I have, Trial of Strength. 3 for a 4/2 beast that might make 2. At the moment I have no desert payoffs, so I don't need to worry too much about that desert just yet. I think Trial of Strength over Supply Caravan and Pouncing Cheetah. Another bleeding 3-drop, which is effectively another bleeding creature. Well, at the moment I can certainly run 16 lands. Shed to remove another counter and get a boost. Fine. There's no green or white otherwise. We'll take it. How many triggers does Nest have? Just 2. So I'd need to splash it, and at best it would make 4 1/1 creatures. Doesn't sound compelling. "15 creatures, 1, 2, 3 combat tricks, some cantrippy stuff, something that will allow us to exile. Only a couple of mummies zombies so far for binding, but it's better than none. So Steward, 2 for a 2/2 exert, makes another creature. Over cantripping, over untapping. This guy's alright, but he seemed to be wheeling a bit. And we've got plenty to draw on the So I think we take the Steward here. Now we start thinking about gate for looting. We've got a bit of cantrippy stuff going on and looty stuff, which is fine. White, blue, blue, another Sun Scourge. Appeal to Authority is in our colours. Until end of turn, a creature gains trample on XX. Go wide. Aftermath, tap 2 creatures. You control gain Vigilance. That's alright. It's a non-bow with the rare monument, but it does stuff. And as it does stuff, we'll have it. We'll have Appeal to Authority. And we now have a full deck in inverted commas, although need to start thinking about. Alright, so another cartouche definitely works with our thing. We don't know about flyers. Another mummy. I think we'll take the cartouche here. Might be able to make more creatures. And we will cut. What? No, no, no. Maybe. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Definitely not. No. Got some zombies coming. Probably the gate to the afterlife. No, we get the cartouche for removal here, I think, over the Naga Vitalist. And now we'll definitely cut gate to the afterlife. We'll cut Sixth Sense, I think. And that's where our deck's currently at. Very low curve. Very low curve. We don't have any bombs here, so we are hoping just to go wide and run them down. But we'll go with it. So Sacred Cat over Anointed Priest, I think. They both make zombies in the long run, mind. Choices, choices. We might end up running neither of them. But let's get the kitty. Not our colour, don't require deserts, so it's this fella. So now we'll cut the kitty. We'll grab the supply caravan for a bit of a mech top end. And in place remove one of the Great Moors. Because we're now not doing counter stuff. Onward to victory. Double strike. Well, it's nice, but only if I can get it in the graveyard, which I probably can't, because I've got no red. That's kind of where Gate to the Afterlife would come in, but having a card that we can only cast in one area is kind of boring. We're now starting to get the end of our curve filled out by chance, which is fine. I think we're going to lose the 2/2 bear exile thing. Keep the cartouches. 4 combat tricks. I don't think we're going to run either. I've still got 1 cut to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, both of these are sideboard. Are we going to lose another Great Moor? Because we can afford to. It's quite. If we can get it down. Oh, we got another combat. That's nice. So we'll probably ditch a Shed Weakness. Because we're going to cut the Great Moor. Yeah. Alright. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 creatures. We have removal in Cartouche of Strength Fight. And we've got Trial of Strength, which is a recurring creature because we've got 3 cartouches. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different combat type tricks. Along with Avon to untap. We're going to go 9-7 because I don't trust 10-6. Export that to Arena. And I will let you know when we start playing.